What is up, everybody? How is your Friday going? It is DJ PJ one more time for midday interesting discussion. I should really think of a different name because just having A for the A in the mid is eh. But it is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. This is episode number 10. Oh my gosh, we are into double digits. That's kind of shocking, isn't it? But I guess that means we've been into like 15 days of work from home now, so that's not great, but that's okay. Anyhow, how are folks doing? Before we get too far, I will say that today's episode is sponsored by my Anchor Soundcore 2 Bluetooth speaker. It says Soundcore on it. You can't see it right now because the lighting with this camera is not very good. But it's brought to you by that speaker and the podcast app Overcast. So today I've been listening to a decent number of podcasts so far to start my day out. So I've worked through a couple of Everton FC podcast from The Athletic, and I am in the middle of the latest Office Ladies podcast right now as well. They are discussing the Valentine's Day episode. So that has been an enjoyable start to my Friday. I haven't done that much in terms of being productive around the house, but that's okay. It's early. There's still 2.5 days left in the weekend. I have time to accomplish things still, and that is okay, and I plan on doing just that. Part of the plan for my weekend does include cleaning my kitchen a little bit. It's gotten a little bit out of hand recently, so I need to make sure I get all the dishes in the dishwasher and put away otherwise. And then I should probably wipe down the counters again and make sure stuff is taken care of that way. So we shall see. So Reese is asking in the chat about the Modern Warfare 2 Remastered campaign. I am interested in getting that. I'm gonna see if I can maybe play. I don't think I played that much COD last weekend. It was 2 weekends ago where I played probably an excessive amount of Call of Duty, like by my standards, which isn't that much, but it was like, oh wow, I did this a lot. But I think before I play the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, I should probably get like Modern Warfare Remastered because that's super excited. So I want to do that. And I mean, if you just got your PS4 set up, I mean, we can definitely. I don't know. I have no idea what Paige would say, but it's like, oh hey, why are you playing COD with your friends from work on the weekend? But that's a different thing. Kevin, not all of us have Switches to play Animal Crossing on anyway, and sometimes we just need a little bit more excitement than simply, oh hey, what shirt or hat can you make? See, I'm not that excited about buying a Switch, so I don't know. We'll see. But I think before I do the Modern Warfare 2 Remastered campaign, I probably want to do the Modern Warfare 1 Remastered campaign. I don't know if there was any kind of update at all this week. I feel like Season 2 was just starting or something with like a Modern Warfare Online stuff, and that was going to bring some stuff that I wanted to explore. But yeah, no, I started again sitting around the house not having much to do. It's like, oh, I can play some Call of Duty because sure, why not? And it was enjoyable. But after a while, it's like you get like, okay, this has been too long staring at the screen and not getting up and moving at all. I've been trying to do at least get a little bit of getting up and moving while still working from home. But yeah, if I'm just sitting down and playing video games for a long time, I don't do that. It's like, oh boy, I can feel it either in my eyes or I have like a headache or something. So that hasn't been great, but the weekend will probably contain some of that. To briefly level set in terms of the weather that we are currently having, Reese, since you are in Madtown right now, I don't know what you guys are getting, but we have been getting freezing rain here in Des Moines to start the day, and it has not been fun. Mind you, it is April 3rd, so you would think that we would probably avoid most of it. My sophomore year when I was at Wartburg up in Waverly, Iowa, which is like 2.5 hours northeast of Des Moines, we got snow in May, and then it melted very quickly afterwards. And again, it's supposed to be very nice these next couple of days after this, but I woke up and my windows have like ice kind of frozen. I mean, ice is frozen. I have rain frozen on my windows. The window behind my monitor is currently like partially covered with ice, and it's still kind of raining here. So it is quite gross, and I am glad I didn't have to go in to work today because, well, I would have walked to like the bus and then ridden the bus in. The bus would have probably either been late or it would have been slow because of the weather. Rightfully so, but it would have been something that had slowed the like progression into the office down. And then I would have had to walk down the sidewalks with this like rainy, icy mix kind of thing. That wouldn't have been fun. So, and again, it's Friday, so I necessarily wouldn't have been in the office, but it's significantly safer for people just to work from home in this case. So, all of the essential workers who are still having to go into their respective places of work, and if they are commuting at all or driving around as part of their job, hopefully today at least around here, it is safe for them to do so and they are not getting in any kind of accidents. Wow. Meanwhile, in Columbus, Kevin is saying it is 60 and sunny. That sounds wonderful. And he's going to maybe get out on a mountain bike trail. That sounds quite nice. Reese says it is 50 degrees in Madison. Cloudy right now. Thoughts on the new May 6th target date? In our huddle a couple days ago, I think Tiger put out the barometer question of what is like, do people have revised estimated dates? And I was still thinking on my June 1 date, and part of that is just like, well, that was in my initial thought, so I'm still going to think on that. Whether or not I think we will be back on May 6th, I doubt it. I'm just going to say I don't think that. I think we'll still be working from home. So there's a lot of time between here and then, or between now and then. So a lot can happen, and who knows what may all come into that. And I don't know if the OCEO would decide, okay, so say Ohio is in a much better place than Iowa is in terms of containing it and whether or not the coronavirus has been like thoroughly suppressed in individual states more than in others. So I don't know if like Columbus folks would be able to go back in to the office while people in like Des Moines or in Harleysville or anywhere else in like our various offices, like, oh yeah, people out in like California, I don't know if it would be like a location by location or it would be an all or nothing kind of thing that we would try to implement. I would think from a technology standpoint, we would try to get people back into the office when possible because that would put less strain on the VPN resources, but I'm not sure. And either way, I don't think we will be back on May 6th. Again, I am still thinking like beginning of June, at least right now, but so many things can change, so that's up in the air. But I am going to say no. May 6th is not going to be the date that we come back. It's going to be later than that. But anyway, it is Friday, so we are looking out at the weekend. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty nice here. So maybe I will get out and about a little bit. Maybe I will go for a run because, again, a run is still pretty like safe, and I can hopefully social distance in a good way still. But getting out and going for a run seems like a good idea. But maybe I'll do that. It won't be a fast run. I did find out this week that my triathlon, I may have mentioned this already, that my triathlon got pushed back to the secondary date. And okay, why did that show up there? But it got pushed back to the secondary date. Then the secondary date. So okay, the initial date was going to be the first weekend in May, like May 3rd. So it would have been like before we got back in the office. So it makes sense. That stuff got pushed back, especially with all like the April 30th pushback stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll go to the secondary date. The secondary date is in October. So instead of like at the beginning of like the summer triathlon season here in the Midwest, we are now at the tail end of it, very much so. It's like October 10th. So it is a sprint triathlon where the swim portion takes place in a pool. So I'm very happy for that now because while the weather in May has almost always been very, very good for the triathlon, I I don't think the weather in October has always been very, very good around that time. Like that's usually when Warburg has had their homecomings, and then sometimes they've had gorgeous days. I mean, it's still fall, so it's not super warm, but sunny, little bit of a breeze, nothing too bad. But they've also had rainy, crummy, fully gray skies, windy, rain kind of falling at like a 45-degree angle because of the wind. So, not having to swim in that weather sounds kind of nice. But having to bike and run in it, we shall see. And that's a little like intimidating to think about. And fortunately, it's a ways off. Like that's more than 6 months away now, which is a lot of time to train. So maybe if I actually like put some effort into training, and if we continue to work from home for a while, that'll be something that'll be a little bit easier. Tiger's asking if I'm going to do pull-ups today. Tiger, I am not. I'm going to try to avoid doing pull-ups on at least in consecutive back-to-back days. Like if I hadn't done pull-ups yesterday, but did pull-ups today, I would then be okay doing them on Monday as well. But I'm going to avoid doing a set of pull-ups today. My back felt a little weird anyway too, so I don't really want to try to like risk tweaking it going into the weekend. So we can certainly try and do some on Monday. We can set like a benchmark for the beginning of the week and then work towards something later on. But I think today will probably be a rest day for the pull-ups. My mouse is working. Okay, that's good. But where are we? Okay, it is Friday. So, what? Okay, so that what reaction is to Reese's question of opinion on how long cheese is good for in the fridge. Okay, is it a block of cheese or is it shredded cheese or is it like sliced? That's kind of, I think that's a little bit of, it's kind of important. And if you're past the date, do like a visual check on it. If you don't have any kind of mold on it, it's probably okay. If it's before the sell by goodbye date, you're probably fine. But if it's like a block, I mean, it depends on the cheese. I don't have a blanket statement for how long cheese is good for in the fridge. Sorry, Reese. Do a visual check on it. And have it. Why? Come on. Just look at it. Is it moldy? No? Okay, then it's probably okay. It's been in the fridge. So it hopefully should be relatively okay. And again, as long as this is like actual cheese and not like something like queso, which is more liquidy, and shredded cheese versus block of cheese versus slices of cheese will probably all be a little bit different. So it won't be a single like blanket answer for how long cheese is good for in the fridge. It also might depend on the cheese, but I don't really know the differences in the makeups of different cheeses, like provolone versus Swiss versus cheddar versus something like Colby Jack. I'm guessing they probably have a little bit of different, like, chemical makeup, physical makeup. So they probably can last a different amount of time depending on the type of cheese. So probably doesn't answer your question, but that's okay. Question from Mackenzie and Abby for the day is, have you tried any new recipes while stuck at home? No, I haven't. I did make chicken cordon bleu in the crock pot, but I've made that before. So that was not necessarily a new recipe. That was a recipe I hadn't made in a while, and that was very good. But that is not a new recipe. I've not tried any new recipes yet. And I've ordered food a couple of times from Noodles and Company now, and I've ordered some things that I haven't had before. So I guess those are new recipes, but I have not tried making any new recipes while stuck at home yet. And I should probably do that at some point. But comfort food is important, and doing stuff I'm comfortable with probably helps in this time. Kevin asks, yes, you did miss a few days, which is okay, and that's all right. You don't necessarily have to watch every one, especially not on live. And these are all recorded so you can watch them later if you so choose. But have I watched Tiger King? I have not. I don't have Netflix, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. And I don't really have any interest in it. But no, I have not watched Tiger King yet. Um, I've watched a couple, at least one, 30 for 30. The 4 days in October one about the '04 ALCS with the Boston Red Sox. I watched that. Oh, yeah, and I watched the Michael Vick one. It was a two-part documentary. I talked about that on Tuesday. Yep. But otherwise, I haven't really started watching any new shows either. Um, I guess I've got some like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episodes, but I could watch those. And part of me wants to like work my way through it like in order, but I also am just like, well, I can just like throw one of those on and just like put it on shuffle. So that might be something I do as well. But I think I only have like the first season right now, so I may need to get more. But we'll see. I do have the Dark Knight trilogy coming today. Best Buy had the 4K like Ultra HD like blue the super nice looking like Blu-ray edition. So all three like the whole trilogy for $15 yesterday, and that's supposed to supposedly arrive today. So that's exciting. And I don't have those on any kind of like media at all. So I could probably rip them and put them on my server, but I'll be able to watch those at some point. So those are fun. I think Hulu had those for a little while. I think I watched The Dark Knight at least. Not The Dark Knight, Batman Begins on Hulu at one point when I had that. But I've got all three of those to watch. I think well, and so I've got a Kindle Paperwhite, and with that and a Prime subscription, every month you get a new. You can pick one of like a newly published book for free, and I think they offer the rest of them for like $2 for like this first month for people. Otherwise, they're probably usually about $5 moving forward. But this month there's a new series getting started by James Maxwell, English fantasy writer, and I've enjoyed. I need to go back and probably get the other ones of his second series, but I enjoyed the first series that he wrote. I think it was like the Everman saga, not Enderman like in Minecraft, but Everman Tales or Saga. I think that was a 4 book series. There's a second series that I again same kind of deal. I got the first book free through the Kindle Paperwhite or like Kindle Prime book setup, and I didn't ever read the rest of them. But I think the rest of that series are available for like $1 each for Kindle, and I may end up getting those and working my way through those. So that'll be kind of good. Favorite book genre? Kevin asks. Probably sci-fi or fantasy. Um, been talking to a group of friends online about the Wheel of Time series. So I've never read that, but it turns out the last book, which became 3 books because there was so much material, is written by the same author of who writes this fantasy series that I really, really like called the Stormlight Archives. Brandon Sanderson is the author. So I'm a big fan of that. Um, a high school friend turned me on to the King Killer Chronicles, so I'm not sure where they are, um, like where they are in terms of those being published, but I'm hoping those continue to be written. Um, yeah. Or why the sad face? Is that done? Reese, did they ever make any more Aragon movies? They did not. Um, I've got all 4 of those books, and I think I reread those about a year ago. And like, yeah, the movies. I mean, the movie was fine. It wasn't very good, but it was fine. So yeah, they could do a remake of that. And again, some of the adaptations that folks have been doing from books to television shows, I think at times might be more useful because you get a little bit more time to actually put stuff together. So like a 2.5 hour movie, if you split that into like you look at okay, even a half of a standard season, that gives you 10 hours to work with, or 10 times 3/4 hours, which is like 7.5 hours. It's like 3 times of a 2.5 hour movie. So there's a little bit more opportunity to work with stuff there. But yeah, fantasy stuff. Kingkiller Chronicles, Stormlight Archives. I think the fourth book. I feel like that. I'm gonna look that up. So there's gonna be some typing maybe in the background, but I think that comes out kind of soon. I hope it does at least. Stormlight Archive, Book 4. Rhythm of War is what it's called. It says it's available. Nope, no pre-order. Title will be auto-delivered to your Kindle on November 17th. Okay, so we are about 7 months away from that one coming out. But, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. That's super exciting. I've also got all three of the current books available on audio, or audiobook too. I should really read the Mistborn trilogy too. Mackenzie, are you reading Mistborn? Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to like lagging chat and video and everything. But I've got I should read the Mistborn trilogy. And I've got the Stormlight Archives on audiobook. And these are big books. They are like over 1,000 pages. So the 3 audiobooks I think are all over 35 hours each. So again, I'm being a horrible television radio host and looking at something on my phone while talking about it. But we are going to sort by length. Oh, of course it's sorted by shortest length. But, okay, never mind. Nope, they're all over 45 hours. The first one, 45 hours, 32 minutes. The second one, 48 hours, 13 minutes. And the third book was 55 hours and 5 minutes. So these are long books. They're very, very good, but they are long books. But no, definitely fantasy stuff. And Wheel of Time is something I may look into at some point. I think there is of course I looked it up earlier, but there is a website out there that is working to bring together a lot of independent bookstores in which you can then order a book from that website, and the money would then be funded, or you'd essentially be buying it from some local bookstore. It may not be your local bookstore, but it would be a local bookstore, so it would be a little bit easier to support them in this difficult time as opposed to just ordering stuff from Amazon. I still don't know like how well Amazon is doing in terms of like physical books. If you're wanting to buy one of those as opposed to just getting something like on your Kindle. And like I enjoy reading stuff on my Kindle, but books are also just kind of cool. Some books look really neat. The Aragon books are a good example of that. It's like I've got all 4 of those on hardcover, and the like paper sleeves on all of them look really cool. Even if you take the sleeves off though, you get the 4 different solid covered with, I think they're all black spined books, and they still look really cool like that. So Reese is asking, do I get free books with my girlfriend being a librarian? I do not. Again, she is a first-year experienced librarian up at South Dakota State, so that doesn't really help me much at all. She encourages me to utilize libraries a little bit more than I otherwise would have, so there's definitely the push for that, but I certainly do not there's no like getting free books. Again, it's in South Dakota, so it's not exactly helpful. It's a library, Reese. Come on, man. Wouldn't they be like, as long as I had a card anyway, they would be free? So come on. No, I don't. No. I do try to. I do try to book, like, I think I'm still technically able to do that from the Johnston one, because the Des Moines metro area is interesting in that they've got the Des Moines Library, which has got 4 or 5 branches, I think, including one right across from the nationwide office. It is wonderful. And then each like suburb also has like their own library. So there's like the West Des Moines Public Library, the Urbandale Public Library, the Grimes Public Library. Ankeny has one, Johnston has one. So I've got Ankeny, Johnston, Grimes, Urbandale, and Des Moines. I have 5 library cards just for the Des Moines metro area. And I think I can only borrow ebooks from like 2 of them because most of them are tied to the address that they have on file. So I do try to borrow ebooks from like the local library stuff, but I get a little confused in terms of which library cards I need to use because I forget which ones I actually have the permission to borrow ebooks from. But I've certainly done that. I've done that with some audiobooks as well. So that's been good. Or some digital comics if I'm wanting to read stuff like that. Again, and it depends on the library, and each one's got maybe a little bit different like resource. Some of them use Hoopla, some of them have like Overdrive. I think it's like Bridges is the like Iowa like joint one. So I try, but yeah, I will try to do like local library stuff. But it's keeping all of them straight and which ones I have access to and which ones I don't, and stuff like that. I have a couple of like RSS subscriptions set up for what is now like new in the like CDs if there's a new CD I want to listen to, or new movies over at the Johnston Library. And those are still like sending out, oh hey, this is going to be new or this is coming available, but the library is closed until like the middle of April. It's like, oh, this is really cool. I should put this on reserve. Oh wait, I can't actually go pick it up yet. Okay, maybe not. That's fine. So we'll see. But no, libraries are awesome. Sorry. Libraries are great. I do think the Des Moines Metro one will charge you $1 to rent a movie each time. But again, you get it for a week, so that's okay. But looking at the other libraries, they don't do that. And maybe, again, it may have been a conscious decision that, again, the Des Moines Metro is a huge, like, multi-library system. So they may have just had a run at some point in which they didn't get a bunch of movies returned, so it's like, it's just going to be easier, or it's a more straightforward way for them to get a little bit of funding given the size of the library. So that's certainly an option as well. But no, libraries are great. I've got a bunch of stuff I need to return to the Johnston one once it opens up, but their message has been you can't return stuff until we reopen because that's just not safe. And like thinking about it, it's like, yeah, if it's a contaminated item, they're just gonna have to let it sit there anyway. So I'm guessing they may come back with some precautionary measures that they take once it all kind of rolls back. So we'll see. Oh, so it is almost. It's okay. But I think it might still be raining out, so that's not so great. But that's okay. But no, I could definitely see reading something this weekend. Or maybe I don't know if I'll watch any of the Dark Knight trilogy movies this weekend. We'll see. But I should organize those a little bit. I've got my movies. I've got a couple of bookshelves downstairs. So we'll see. Kevin asked if I play any instruments. Well, I've learned piano and played piano took piano lessons through like the beginning of high school. And then I was involved in band at that point. So it was like, well, band, high school sports. It's like, okay, piano lessons kind of fell by the wayside. But I've got a small, like 2/3 keyboard kind of thing in this bedroom as well. So I can play piano. I used to play trumpet. I don't have a trumpet anymore, and I was okay at it. And then I shifted to percussion for like the last year and a half of high school because we needed percussionists. What high school band needs percussionists? But mine did. So I learned a couple different like percussion parts. Like in marching band, it was like the quad drums, and then for like symphonic band, it was more of the keyboard type instruments. So marimba, xylophone, chimes, stuff that also needed like actual note reading. So knowing that stuff, I think, helped some and put me into those different instruments. But currently, I just have a small keyboard that I can sometimes play, but I don't play anything right now. That's maybe something else I'll do. So I've got that like opening music that starts at the beginning of this. So my iPad has got GarageBand on it, so maybe I will make some other like opening riffs or something. But GarageBand is set up for that, and they've got different loops that you can work with, and it's not me saying, "Oh, hey, I want this instrument to play these notes for this kind of rhythm for 4 bars or something." I don't know. It's just, hey, these are all set up pre-recorded, pre-made sounds. What kind of loops and stuff can you make with them? So that's what that's been. But mainly just piano. Um, never had any interest. Never had any interest in playing a string instrument. I probably should. Um, that would probably be significantly more entertaining for people than just me sitting around talking. So maybe Kevin wants to be a guest next week. I think all next week is at 11:15, 12:15. So that would probably work. But musical guests would probably be very welcome and be much more interesting than just me talking, because eventually I will run out of material probably. So we'll see. But it is 11:46, 12:46. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Friday. Have a wonderfully relaxing weekend. If you do go outside, like if Kevin is going to go ride a mountain bike trail, or if you venture outside in any way, please be safe. Please practice proper social distancing. Don't be like the horse auction that we saw in Iowa yesterday. Don't do that. But also make sure you're doing something that is fun and enjoyable and helps you maintain proper mental health, because, well, this is already a very stressful time, and not trying to take care of yourself is probably not a great thing. So if that means getting outside and going for a walk, or if that means curling up with a book and a blanket, I encourage everyone to try to do something that makes them feel good and relaxed and can help maintain their sanity in this wonderfully trying time that we're going through. So again, have a wonderful Friday, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all on Monday. Until then, thanks for listening, guys.